Welcome to the Center for Transformation Institute podcast, where we are uniting with therapists everywhere for personal and professional growth. Your journey starts here at the place therapists grow.
Claire, it's so good to be with you today. I'm so glad to make your acquaintance.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on this chat. I'm really enjoying it's wonderful to get to know you.
Yes, I'm so glad that Chris Kersey got us connected because you have actually been through the Thrive training.
That's right. Yes, done 3 years of Thrive. It's just been amazing.
Yeah, and you did that with your husband?
Yes, he came along. He felt first maybe I should go and then he would learn from me. And then fortunately, God said, no, you got to go. So that was wonderful. So happy about that.
That's great.
And it's been
and,
good.
Yeah, and you're in South Africa.
Yes, so it's obviously been a massive investment for us to do, but it's been incredible. The training has been impactful, not just on me, but on my husband and I together. So our marriage has just really taken to a new level of connection and satisfaction and joy. So that's been a great win.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. And you do work in the mental health field. Tell me a little bit more about what you do professionally.
Okay, so I do have a nursing background, but then I felt God leading me towards more counseling people one-on-one. And so I've been counseling since 2001. And I have the privilege of meeting with people from all walks of life in my country, but also overseas as well. So I have a number of clients even in the States and England and Germany, even further afield. Abu Dhabi as well, I've got a few. So it's yes. And so it is in my country, there's people that from all different races and cultures. So being able to be part of that has been very exciting and still see how the relational skills impact in every culture and actually change lives. So.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. It's so great for you because you're able to move in terms of the virtual much more easily maybe than if you're just relying on the people in your direct community to come to your office.
Yes, I have a greater reach. And I've even had clients in Ghana and Lesotho coming to me online as well. So it's been very, very interesting.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. That's amazing. So that kind of leads me to my first question here in regard to what is your life model story? How have you gotten connected with the life model? Like about when did you get connected and how did that kind of transpire in terms of you being as involved as you are?
Okay, so when I was, we were in the States in 2017, and I, because my son and our daughter-in-law was having a baby, and she's American. And while I was there, I contacted Marcus because I'd been involved with ICBC. Initially, we'd had counseling from practitioners there, which had been so amazing. And actually, that model of counseling is what I came back to South Africa in 2001 and started using with clients. But I just thought I wanted to contact Marcus and just find out from him which direction could I go that would be the best for my clients. And I was 60. I was thinking, do I do a psychology degree? And will that be the best that I could give them? It may give me a wider range of clients, but would it actually be as helpful? And he said, Claire, you've got to be involved with Thrive. That's what you need to do. Go and learn about the relational brain skills and just watch and see how they help you and how they would impact you. And that will be how you can help your clients. So I started reading and started learning and was looking at Jim Wilder's material and just looking at what Chris and Jen were doing in Thrive. And I started implementing it, just trying it at home. My husband came home and I decided I was going to give him a smile and just smile at him when he got home, and he sort of looked at me and wondered, okay, what's up? What are you doing? And then he saw I was genuine and being authentic, and he smiled back at me, and then we had this sweet little moment, and then we carried on. So I was just doing little things like that, building joy with him, and it was already starting to warm us up, just recognizing, checking and speaking directly, not just talking out things that we have to do and, having a conversation to the air kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that really just brought us into more eye contact and more closeness, just starting there. And then we've been to Thrive now to 18, to 19, and now to 22.
Right.
And then I was there in July when I was actually working with Amy Brown and training there to be a trainer. So I'm now doing Thrive training here, and I actually did one in Croatia. I did an event there, and now in South Africa, we're going to be starting to implement that.
So you are the first international Thrive trainer.
That is just quite phenomenal. I'm just really blown away with that. Yeah.
That's amazing. And you also are a Thrive graduate, which is amazing too. My friend and I who went through the training recently said we should have like a ceremony or something. We feel like we pomp and circumstance here to graduate, So we'll have to tell Chris and Jen.
Yeah. And then we've also been involved with the momentum group that actually started in track 2 from 2019, and so the 4 others are in the States, and that's just been, we're still carrying on every week we meet and going through material, which has been phenomenal just to do that.
Right. So if someone's listening and they haven't heard of a momentum group, these are kind of a belonging group that we formed during Thrive. And then also Alive and Well has groups that they call journey groups, and Life Model Works will run some groups as well. I have some groups in my own office and then in my own community that I call identity groups, because back when Marcus Warner and Dr. Wilder came out with Rare Leadership, and they had the Rare Leadership teachings, they called them identity groups. So I did that then, and we still do. We call them identity groups because we just reflect identity back and forth. And my husband and I and my people, my belonging groups here, we just are having more joy than we've ever knew possible on this earth because of what we're learning. And how we're learning to do it with one another. Yes.
Yeah. And I think it's been very, very good to be able to just keep going and practicing. And, we started over again with Thrive Book 1, and then after we've done all the others, and just keep on going. So
love that. Yes. So I think if we could kind of just pinpoint with you, if you could think about this question real quick, Claire, what I'm really wondering is, at what point or at what concept did you realize that this is something really special for me as an individual? And then also something really special and profound that I can offer to my clients, something different or more than your basic, modality or conceptualization.
I think the ability to build joy and to build rest, and to actually establish those as life patterns, actually things that my brain would go to quickly, has been absolutely life-changing. I'm finding that my mind is more focused on good. I'm able to, if I'm feeling that I'm noticing I'm having negative thoughts, or I've got automatic negative thoughts going and looping, I know now to pull myself back. And that has meant that I have a far more sense of calm and joy in my life. And also I know how to rest if I'm tired. If I'm tight. And it's also the connection that I've had with Jesus. That has just been incredible. It's made it. I did have a good relationship with the Lord. I've been a Christian a long time, but that's just been that sweet place of connecting and rest and joy has been beautiful. It's just been that's taken me to a new level of connection with the Lord.
Yeah.
And then in terms of my clients, just being able to help people that are so anxious, be able to calm. And have them say, I just did not know I could do this. Here is this quiet in my brain, and I'm actually resting, and I just have never done that. I didn't know how to do it. Nobody's taught me,
Yes.
And then and then being able to take them through maybe a breathing exercise, a resting exercise, right into a connection with Jesus, where they didn't know. And most clients just haven't had that connection with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And they're able to let him in, and he's meeting them in a sweet space of peace, and then gently taking them into areas where he might want to heal. So I can't tell you, really has been so much sweeter than before. Yeah.
So you do a lot with Emmanuel Healing Prayer.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. So what's striking me about what you're saying is the concepts are there and they are profound, but it's really the application of the concepts that is giving me, myself individually, and your clients a transformation of the way that they were living, the way that you were living, in terms of your emotional health, your groundedness, your ability to enjoy life and be fully alive. The difference between where it was and where it is now is drastically different.
Yes. So I've had clients, I actually have had a client who was, when I first met her, she couldn't actually sit straight because she was so weak. Wow. And within I think it's been about 6 or 7 months, just because of learning to rest, learning to build joy, wow, she has actually been transformed. I can see it. And she's now alert and sitting up for me. She's online with me, and she's given a test to me, so I don't think she'll be upset about me sharing. But she's written about 700 things to be thankful for in her gratitude book.
Wow. Oh, that's just beautiful.
Yeah.
So what? Go ahead.
No, it's just been watching her. It's been so rewarding because I can see there's been transformation, and she's now applying it in her own life. Yes. And it's affecting all the things that she was involved with as well. So it's been beautiful.
What I'm thinking about as you say that, Claire, is just, Alan Shore's work around right brain psychotherapy and Dan Siegel's work around interpersonal neurobiology, which both are such foundational research conceptualizations that feed into the life model. That Dr. Wilder has taken this complex information and he's made it more clear for us, master's level therapists, pastoral counselors, anyone, Christian, who wants to learn how to apply this model, how to apply the transformation and maturity process in our own lives, that we, just by being with someone, can propagate those skills that quickly, right? That somebody who is sitting with you week after week, they're not just paying for you to listen, they're actually getting your right brain. They're getting your subconscious. They're getting growth, right? From your growth, which is so beautiful.
Yes. And so I can share with them the skill that they may need, and then give them a little exercise in it. So invariably what I'll do now, I change things around, but I'm getting them to write down a prayer to the Lord. Thank you, Lord, for, and then just thinking of the things that they are thankful, and then telling them, do you feel different? And they're saying, yes, I'm feeling lighter. I'm just feeling life is actually, there's some good things. I'm realizing that life has actually got so much for me. Yeah. And obviously, and then I'm saying, and can you sense that you're a little bit closer to the Lord because he feels more real? And I'm talking about the relational circuits as well. And, so it's real time. They're watching it and feeling it and growing and experiencing it.
Oh, I love this. This is just a beautiful, beautiful conceptualization. I think that, you've answered a lot of my questions, and this might seem a little redundant, but if you could talk to a therapist who is just now learning about the model, who hadn't really learned it or applied it, or is just new, just has read maybe one of the books or listened to a podcast, etc., what would you tell them about what they're going to be experiencing if they go down this road?
I would say to them, you are going to leapfrog your clients into so much more skills, because we look at a lot of the focus maybe was on praying with somebody to find healing, and they would, and God would be dealing with trauma, and you'd be taking them through the process of working through some of the difficult aspects. But then they just, how do we live this life and actually build joy? How do we deal with these big emotions? How do we calm, and so on? And so that's been helping them not to establish themselves and just have a much more satisfying and fulfilled life.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. What I'm experiencing with you right now is just the thought that it's just so effective. It's just so effective. And I think that's why I want to give the rest of my life, all my energy into how can we help other therapists know this model? Because as therapists, we're kind of like silent influencers, people don't go around saying, oh, well, I got that information from my therapist, or I'm transformed into a new self because I had this time with my therapist. I know some people probably say that, but there's a sense that we have this opportunity to influence people and help with healing, kind of grassroots, under the radar. And if we can do that, what's happening is that we're helping their right brains grow and change and heal.
That's right.
And then they go into their family systems and their communities. And a lot of the people we end up counseling are influencers. Maybe they're pastors, maybe they're counselors themselves. Maybe, they have a lot of influence in the business world or in school systems. Teachers need healthy brains. They're propagating joy to children. So that makes me so excited to talk to you about all these things, Claire. You're my people. I mean, as we're talking through all of these things, we both are excited about what God's doing through these concepts to bring the word of God to life.
Yes.
Right. To say, Jesus says we can live in freedom and that we can have joy. And then we don't. We're like, why not, God? What's wrong? And so it seems like these answers that Wilder is pulling out of neuroscience help us to understand God's original design next level.
Yes, very much so. So, yes, now I must say, it's just wonderful for me when I can actually help someone and they can then, they pick it up and I'm hearing them come back, well, I did this and this really helped. And, and that is just amazing.
That makes me think of a client I saw yesterday. And it's funny because when I first gave him Joy Starts Here, maybe 10 years, no, it would have been 8 years ago, because somewhere around there. And he looked at me cross-eyed. He said, what is this? And he came in yesterday and I said, remember when that happened? Because it wasn't too long after that, he went through a hard time and he ended up just eating up all of the curriculum, and it brought him so much more understanding of what it means to be in joyful connection with God and others. So it's so exciting to be able to propagate that to other people. I really enjoyed our conversation today. I'm so thankful for you and everything you're doing in South Africa, and I'm going to look forward to our continued conversation.
Thanks so much. It's been wonderful.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of The Place Therapists Grow. We hope you will join us next Monday. To expand your knowledge and continue your growth journey, go to cftinstitute.com and take our assessment. See you next time.